From the moment prisoners were brought into the grim confines of Nazi camps, the struggle to survive became relentless. Hunger was constant, fire was forbidden, and the very act of preparing food could mean punishment or death. Yet, amid this brutality, prisoners developed extraordinary methods to cook without fire, a survival hack that the Nazis could never fully suppress. Before diving into the secrets, subscribe to After the Sirens and comment below. This story is as much about human resilience as it is about ingenious survival. In World War II camps, open flames were prohibited due to strict guard oversight. Any attempt to light a fire risked immediate execution. Prisoners quickly realized that traditional cooking was impossible, and they were forced to seek alternatives. Some relied on chemical reactions, others on heat generated through sunlight, and a few ingenious individuals even developed techniques using body heat and fermentation to make meals safe and digestible. One documented method involved layering ingredients in sealed containers and using sunlight to generate enough heat for slow cooking. Certain vegetables and grains could be softened this way over several hours, and prisoners learned to use dark, heat-absorbing surfaces to amplify the effect. For instance, metal scraps or stones left in the sun could create pockets of warmth, gradually cooking the contents inside a small, makeshift vessel. Without pots or pans, prisoners repurposed everything. Tin cans, discarded metal pieces, and even sections of latrine pipes became cooking vessels. These containers were often sealed tightly with wax, cloth, or mud to retain heat and prevent contamination. The innovation lay in the combination of materials and environmental conditions. Some camps, actually documented prisoners stacking layered metal containers so that the lower layer absorbed heat from the sun and radiated it upward, essentially creating a primitive double boiler. Others, they used fermentation, soaking grains in water to allow natural enzymatic processes to sort of cook the food slowly. In many cases, the process could take several days, but it allowed them to eat nutritionally adequate meals without drawing attention from guards. Certain chemical reactions can produce enough heat to cook simple meals, and prisoners exploited this knowledge discreetly. A mix of water and certain salts or acidic substances could slowly release heat when combined under controlled conditions. For example, iron filings or stones from a camp area, when placed strategically with wet ingredients in a sealed container, could provide gentle warmth. Prisoners who understood basic chemistry were at an advantage, using what was available to slowly elevate temperatures without open flames. The key was patience. Unlike traditional cooking, this method could take hours or even days, but it ensured safety and survival. Such ingenuity often meant the difference between malnutrition and enough calories to sustain work or endure harsh winters. Modern survivalists can, extract valuable lessons from these historic methods. The principle of cooking without fire actually has applications in emergency preparedness, urban survival, and outdoor adventures where fire is, impossible or dangerous. For instance, solar cooking using reflective surfaces can emulate these techniques today. Metal containers, black-painted pots, or insulated boxes can convert sunlight into a cooking source, mirroring what prisoners achieved with a good deal of ingenuity and, honestly, very limited resources. In emergency scenarios, Slow fermentation or soaking grains can prepare food without heat. These approaches also extend shelf life and, importantly, reduce the risk of contamination, a principle well understood by prisoners who often faced epidemics and scarce clean water. While modern campers have lightweight solar ovens and insulated cookers, the underlying strategy really remains identical, using physics, chemistry and patience to make inedible materials consumable. The Nazis controlled every aspect of camp life, yet they could never fully suppress these survival hacks. The secrecy required for these cooking methods worked in prisoners' favour. Improvised containers were small, easily concealed, and more often than not disguised as innocuous items. Chemical reactions and slow sun cooking left no smoke or smell, bypassing detection entirely. This resistance was not only practical, it was psychological. The act of preparing and eating even minimally cooked meals became a small rebellion against dehumanization. Prisoners regained a sense of agency and survival, proving that even in extreme oppression, ingenuity and persistence could carve out tiny victories. Anyone interested in history or survival can experiment with these techniques safely. Start with solar cooking using black-painted containers and sunlight, or experiment with slow soaking and fermentation of grains. Understanding how heat, light and chemical processes interact teaches patience and resourcefulness. For urban survival enthusiasts, learning to adapt everyday items like cans, jars and metal scraps can simulate the ingenuity prisoners demonstrated in World War II camps. By studying these methods, you gain insight into human adaptability under extreme conditions, a skill that extends beyond cooking. It's about resilience, creativity, and making do with minimal resources when conventional methods are unavailable. The World War II prison camp cooking trick that worked without fire remains a testament to human resourcefulness. Prisoners turned chemical reactions, sunlight, and everyday materials into a lifeline, ensuring survival under the harshest conditions. Modern historians, survivalists and enthusiasts can learn from these methods, applying principles of slow cooking, solar heating and creative problem-solving in practical scenarios today. If you found this deep dive valuable, subscribe to After the Sirens for more untold World War II stories and survival secrets, and leave a comment sharing which method you would try first. Share this video with fellow history buffs and survival enthusiasts. These lessons from the past are indeed timeless.